live for Wednesday because it means it's time for our weekly roundtable. Three brilliant, bold, beautiful women, my sisters, to discuss topics that matter to women in our community. I love to hear them speak. Who will we go to first? Welcome Candace Kelley, Ameshia and Brittney Cooper. You're up, Brittney. Here we go. And do me a favor, don't hold back like you usually do. I need you to just really just lay it all on us. Let's start with this. The Supreme Court, 10 a.m. this morning, is going to start hearing oral arguments on the most pivotal abortion case in 30 years. At stake, women's right to have an abortion. Could Roe v. Wade really, this time, be overturned?
We are in the most danger that we've ever seen of Roe v. Wade being overturned, or of it being so severely restricted that it is law in name only. That is going to have devastating consequences in our community. Women and childbearing folks in our community typically need access to pregnancy termination services disproportionately. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we're also overrepresented among the poor. And so if you don't have the means to make it, then making choices to parent often becomes a difficult choice. What I would say to our folk is that, we need to be paying very serious attention to this. We've had a reproductive justice movement in this country for a very long time, in which Black women activists have said that Black women have the right to parent, to not parent, and to parent, children in safe and healthy environments. And so I'm really enraged to see this assault, and to see it with a Supreme Court that was largely illegitimately installed by the former president, who stole Supreme Court seats and then rushed through other Supreme Court seats. But more importantly, we're also going to see Clarence Thomas, the bane of Black existence in the judiciary, get on board with this attempt to take rights away from women. And I think as a community, we should be enraged about that.
Okay, now, you used the word danger, rage, assault, and I know that was all of it was on purpose, and I want to get back to that, just the energy around this and the blowback. But Candace, how long, because it takes them a long time, doesn't it? How long before the court makes the ruling? Will we get a hint on where they're going after listening to the arguments this morning?
Yeah, we'll get a little hint, Sharon, because based upon the questions, we're going to see, well, where are they leaning towards specifically? We already know what they thought about the Texas abortion ban. They stopped, the ability to even hear that. And now that law is standing. It is on the books, only up to 6 weeks. So if that's any indication as to where we are going, rest assured, almost 100%, my prediction, we're going to see either Roe v. Wade overturned, or we're going to see a lot of changes. And as Brittney said, I believe that was Brittney, who said, listen, we need to be aware of this. We need to be open to this idea that things are going to change. But then what? Because now we've talked about the fetus's rights versus the woman's rights. But then if a woman is forced to have a baby because she can't travel, how are we protecting her outside? Are we giving her the proper prenatal care? Does she have the money? Does she have the ability to pay for said babies? As Brittney said, we need to look at what this does with a mother in terms of her making decisions for her life, not just the life of the baby, but her life specifically, and how it's going to affect her life down the line.
You asked 3 questions, Candace. I give a hard no, no, no is the answer to all of those. But Ameshia, let's get back to the rage and the blowback. Because if Candace is right, and it's either going to go away, Roe v. Wade, or it's going to keep scaling it back to the point where Lino, I think you called it, Brittney, law in name only is the law of the land. What will this do to a movement of, women?
It sets us back. It sets us back decades. And I agree with what was just said by both Candace and Brittney. At the end of the day, I don't see a path forward for Roe v. Wade in its current iteration because of the makeup of the Supreme Court. We know that Roe v. Wade is more than likely going to be chiseled down to its bare bones, if not completely eradicated. That puts many women and young people in danger, specifically because it forces those who are Black, Latino, indigenous populations, those who are those who are in poverty across multiple states in this country. It forces many of them to a point where they have absolutely no option. These are individuals who largely could not travel from state to state to find abortion services. These are also individuals who are consistently castigated by conservatives on the right because they need social services, these entitlement programs that they tend to make fun of and want to strip every day. How do you feed these kids that the Republicans just want to be brought into this world? What about the mental health status of the mom? Because when you're not prepared to have a child, when you're not prepared for everything that comes along with that.
Wow. And here's the thing, because I know Ameshia froze a little bit there, but Brittney, can we go back to you, because, and I want to button this before we move on to the next issue. Black women are always the afterthought, it seems here, while white women, it is, right to choose and everything. This pro-choice thing seems to be just that for them. Here we are, the afterthought, and how can we drill it home that this is disproportionate, doesn't even begin to cut it when it comes to what it's doing to Black women?
So this is a critical distinction. So white feminist movements use the language of reproductive choice. Black women's feminist movements use the language of reproductive justice, right? Because we understand that structurally our choices are always limited by economics, by politics, and basically by whatever whims and fancies white folks with power wake up with in the morning and decide they want to do to us. Which is why when we're talking about reproductive justice in Black communities, I want folks to hear, because I know that there are conservatives who say, well, if you don't want to have babies, then you should protect yourself and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, look, we're talking about a full-fledged assault on the ability of Black folks to plan families in ways that keep us all healthy and on our own terms. And so we've got to expand this and not fall with the okie doke about this being about folks not respecting life. We know that the folks who are pushing this legislation through, who are forcing this issue on the Supreme Court, do not value Black life. They aren't doing this because they care about Black babies. And as Candace and Ameshia so powerfully say, they're not even creating the structures for us to be able to support these children. And they resent us because we need additional help because of the structures they have implemented that make things harder for us to support them. So we talk about reproductive justice in Black communities, and that means access to health care, access to maternal care, access to prenatal care. It means healthy food access. It means access to the ability to talk to your doctor. We know that many white, middle class, and rich women will continue to be able to access abortion services privately with care providers that will do those services in doctors' offices. And it's going to be Black women and brown women and indigenous women who don't have that kind of access, who are going to be forced to have children that they don't want to have. And we should be enraged by that. And the thing that I saying to Black folks is, this is what the history of slavery meant for Black women, that other people controlled our ability to control our having babies. And so they're doing it again. And this is nothing short of slavery being reimposed on women's lives.
It really, I don't think you can use stronger terms than that. You really can't. Let's pivot to just straight up access or access denied. Ameshia, this move to the Omicron virus, the variant, the travel ban that's been placed on these African nations. I clearly think it's unfair. I think it is disproportionate. It doesn't even follow the science. What do you think?
It's unfair, it's disproportionate, it's quite frankly ignorant, and it's frustrating because it goes to show just how much, in many cases, this administration does not get it. And I think that I say that forcefully, largely because we know that the Omicron variant didn't start in Africa at all. We know that it was identified, it was sequenced by some of the most amazing scientists in the globe who were able to figure out exactly what it was and what its potential was in terms of this new virus, this new variant, what it would actually look like and how it would affect our daily lives. With that being said, I think that in this travel ban specifically to African nations, what we're going to see is a higher scale of discrimination. We know that Black countries face that anyway. We saw that with the bans and how people were treated who were coming over as undocumented immigrants. But we've also watched this time and time again as it relates to illness and disease. And it hurts. It hurts the African diaspora. It hurts the culture of Black people when we continually see time after time administration, whether it's led by Republicans or Democrats, push against African nations. I think that this is really disappointing, considering that this was supposed to be the administration that held the arms of Black people,
That
but also
part.
looking at the fact that it does not, as you said, follow the science at all. And I would argue as well that mainstream media really missed the ball here, because they were the first ones to report. And it didn't matter what network you listened to. Mainstream media reported time and time again that the Omicron virus was found in Africa. That was absolutely not true. Found and sequenced are two very different
That's the
things.
lie.
And I would argue that
That's
the
the
media
lie.
led this and created disaster as well.
I was screaming at the TV. It was a lie, okay? And I want to talk more about it, but we have to move on to the murders of Ahmaud Arbery, okay? Convicted finally last week, 11 white jurors, 1 Black. But for me, Candace, it's about the white woman, right? 9 white women, including the jury foreman, who said, out with the trash. And I think white women who historically have been the root, it's just a fact, of a lot of lynching, a lot of killing, lies, omission, whatever you want to call it in this country, we can and are going to need them to stand up more and do more of a heavy lift here, like the women did in Brunswick. Now, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I want to throw more at the white woman here to pick up and do what I know she can do.
Well, Sharon, listen, we have white women who are also white mothers. And I remember with George Floyd, there were a lot of women who got on board that bandwagon to support all the protests against the killing of George Floyd because they were mothers when they heard him cry out for his mother. And I think that certainly had an impact. I think that, listen, too, we need to just pay attention to the fact that sometimes the needle moves very slowly on the record. We pushed it a little forward. I think it's okay to give them some credit to have their eyes open, but let's give credit to the protesters who were outside too that inevitably had some type of effect on what they were thinking. I don't care what you think, we're human. If you're going into a courthouse every day to decide the fate of 3 men, like the men who are now convicted murderers, you see those pastors outside. You see those people working outside in the name of justice, because this is a community that you have to go back into and live in. The other thing we have to keep in mind is that, listen, DNA and slavery and why the police system even exists, it's there. And that's what we need to also talk about, why we even have the policing system that we do. We know that it is an old system. We've been trying to fix this broken car for hundreds of years in terms of what is the matter with the system. Eventually, you got to just throw the car away, and you're not the Flintstones. You can't start it with your feet. It's broken. If you can't put the key in the ignition and it works, you got to get rid of it. And that's what we need to do in just terms of looking at this policing system overall.
Okay, we only got 1 minute, but Brittney, I think I was inartful. It's not that I want to give them credit. I want to give them the responsibility here to do the heavy lift, more of it. I want Black people to be able to sit there and hold them accountable, but have them say, you know what? This is our mess. We helped create this in large part, and it's time for us to take out more of the trash. That's really the way I feel. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you absolutely are right. White women are going to be the critical lever in whether we have justice in this country or whether we don't. And I'm reminded of the quote, I believe it's from Ella Baker, until the murder of a Black woman's son matters as much as the murder of a white woman's son, we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
And there it is. And that will be the final word on it. I just love you, ladies. And thank you, Brittney, for finally letting us hear your real voice, your true, loud, booming, beautiful voice, because it is necessary. Until next time, ladies, Candace Kelley, Ameshia Cross, thank you. I just love you, sisters. Brittney Cooper, appreciate you, ladies.